Hello and welcome to another broadcast of Uganda Youth Collective. This is your host, Winnie Kitaka. Thank you so much for joining me once again. As way of introduction, I just want to remind you, if you're listening to us for the first time, welcome. I just want to share with you, this is our vision at Uganda Youth Collective. Our vision is to discover, mentor, empower, and grow the gifts and talents of the Ugandan youth by teaching how to overcome fears, insecurities, dealing with stigmas and negative stereotypes in order to generate an income from your gift and talent and serve both your local community and Uganda. I want first of all to say thank you as always to all of you that are following us on the various social media networks. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. And I want to say thank you to all of you that are liking our page on Facebook. I think this week I've checked and we're just under 110 likes. And interestingly, actually, we have a lot of likes from our brothers in Ghana, Nigeria, Malawi. So I just want to say welcome to you all. And I'm sure this information will also be beneficial to you. But welcome to everybody. And today I want to just talk to you about something that I'm really passionate about, and something that sometimes we have a saying here that makes my blood boil, in a sense that it aggravates me, it upsets me, it gets me worked up or wound up. And I want to talk about this week. Once again, I want to say thank you to all of you that message me, that email in, that get in touch with questions. I really appreciate you doing that. And actually, when you ask me the questions, then I'll make sure that we will find the answers. If we don't know the answers, we will get you the answers. So please go ahead and message and email. Our email, you can reach me on email is winnie@ugandayouthcollective.com. That's winnie@ugandayouthcollective.com. Go ahead and email there, or you could message via Facebook. That's another good alternative. But today I want to talk about renewing your minds, and as a way of starting off the talk, this week or last week I had again an opportunity to hear from one of you. I won't mention your name, and another lovely young man, is late 20s, I believe, and he got in touch, and he asked whether we are able to offer any assistance or help in terms of paying for his tuition so he can continue his study. And I said to him, at this point in time, we don't have that fund or facility at this point in time, and we're working on it. By God's grace, we'll be in a position to be able to do that. But I said to him, then we continued chatting for almost half an hour, actually. And I just wanted to find out from him, what exactly can he do? I always ask this question. When somebody comes to me with a need, then I always ask them, well, what can you do? What do you have? And the reason I ask that, because to find out what you have, or what skill you have, what ability you have, so that somehow, somewhere, I can either point you in the right direction, or I could give you some guidance to help you turn that skill or that ability into something that can help you or get on your way to begin to generate an income. And when we carried on to, when he told me, then he responded and said, I could do anything. And if you haven't heard my broadcast and that I a few weeks back, that was entitled why is it hard for people to employ you, I would strongly suggest you go back and listen to that because it will make sense what I'm talking about now. And I said to him, I don't want you to tell me you could do anything. And I said, but specifically, what can you do? And then he went on to say, well, I can work in a hotel as a waiter, kind of hotel stuff. And I said, oh, okay. So I said to him, well, how about this? What is it that you want to do in the long term? The kind of question you were asked when you were younger, when you grow up, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I asked him that question. And he said to me, oh, actually, I want to be a journalist. And I said, well, that's brilliant. And I said, well, can you write? And he said, yeah. I said, well, so I gave him some homework to go away and write a report and get back to me. I want to see what abilities he has to see whether, we can use that ability and help him generate an income that he actually can begin to find the money that he needs to pay for his own tuition. And this is why I went, and then I realized that, I'm currently based in the UK. I came to the UK when I was 9 years old. 9 or 8, one of those. 9 years old. So I was born in Uganda and I came over to the UK and I've literally been raised or grown up in the UK. But one thing I have found, and one of the things I'm thankful for growing up here, is that my way of thinking is different from what I am beginning to witness or see or hear from some of my brothers and sisters, you guys. And I began to think about that. And actually, it's not just, Ugandans who are maybe based in Uganda or in what the world terms as third world, but actually Ugandans even here in the UK, and Africans actually, and sometimes I can even go as far as saying black people, is the way we think is different from those who are successful. Now, this doesn't mean, I don't want to generalize that all of us think this way. Some of us are totally different, and there are many of you out there who don't think this way. But there is a group, and I'm not going to put a percentage to it because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm inclined to say there's a bigger percentage of us, of young Ugandans, brothers and sisters out there. And I realized that the way they think or their mentality was different from my mentality. And personally, I have got to where I am right now because I have refused to believe some of the things that statistically they say that as a young black African Ugandan woman, the things that society, that the world, that my community, even my own, say that I should not be able to do. And personally, I choose not to believe that. And part of what has helped me change my mind in regards to what I can do is because my line of work, my business, is working with mothers. Most of my clientele over here are affluent clients, a number of celebrities and a number of, people who are rich, people who can afford the service. And one of the things I'm thankful for working or being in those kind of circles is that I see how these people work. And I get the opportunity to see them in their homes, in their comfort home. And everybody at home, you see the real person. And then as I watch and I observe them, I realize, apart from the color difference, they are just like me. In a sense, they eat food just like us. I eat food. I mean, our food preferences might be different, but there isn't that much difference. And then as I've continued to surround or work with these individuals, I've said, and then I begin to say, hold on a minute, I too can do and become just like these people are. And in this broadcast, what I want to talk about is I've realized that part of the biggest work that I believe that we need to do as a people to train our brothers and sisters is the work of changing minds, changing your mentality. You know, one of my favorite books is the Bible. And in the Bible, I quote, I can't remember where, I think it's in Romans somewhere. And it says that do not be conformed to the ways of this world, but be renewed, have your mind renewed. And one of the things that I want to encourage my brothers and sisters is, you know, slavery took place a very long time ago and was abolished and it was finished. But what I see even in today's, in our current times, that the slave mentalities are yet to go. Or the mentality, or, you know, and you'll excuse me for lack of a better words to use, the third world mentality or a recipient mentality. Let me use that word. That many times when you guys get in touch with me, some of you, when you get in touch with me, and I love it when you get in touch, is most of the times you're asking me, can you give me? It's always, can you give me something? What can you give me? Whereas over here, or for me, because I have had my mind renewed, is my question is, what can I give you? What can I offer you that can add value to you? Whereas a lot of you, when you've been in touch, you're asking, what can I give you? That recipient mentality. And that is one of the things that we want here at Uganda Youth Collective, in everything we do, in everything we post, in everything we showcase, is to try and have you, to help you renew your mind, to show you that you also are just as good. And this is what our main contributors, Richie Kiimba and Simon Senkai, this is what we're always talking about. It's helping you to understand and realize the potential that you have as a human, as a Ugandan, as a young man, as a young woman. You have so much potential. And now I understand, because maybe you have not been exposed to the same things that some other people have been exposed to. That's why we still possess this recipient mentality or attitude. But guess what? With technology and the world becoming so global, we all now have the same opportunity as any child or as any youth anywhere in the world to acquire the same information. And minds are renewed by what you listen to, by who you hang around with, by what you watch. So in renewing your mind, whatever it is that you want to become, you can be that. You can be the journalist that you want to be. You could be the lawyer. You could be the doctor. You can be whatever. Anything you want to become as a Ugandan, regardless of where you are in the world, you can do it. Yes, you can. You know, I was listening to, I can't remember which president it was, an African president. And he, if I can remember correctly, I'll try and quote it as I heard it. And he made this statement that the Africans, we have been busy exporting jobs and money on every kilogram of raw material that we export. And he said, as a matter of fact, we are donors in ignorance. Because many times, you know, people donate to Africa and donate to and I appreciate and I thank those who make the various donations to the continent of Africa.